I'm so fortunate to be standing here at Flushing, and it is not just a thriving space spiritually, it is vibrant, and I've seen multiple culturally rich presentations as well as activities where kids came and enjoyed. While my kids were young, we used to come to celebrate Deepavali here, and it was such a lot of fun. So, Apurva ji is with me. Apurva ji, what is the overall idea that is put into practice to keep youth engaged intellectually and spiritually also?
That's a very, very good question. So the way this goes is the kids are included, and kids are given lectures about Hinduism, the richness of our culture. But more importantly, they are the ones we are being cultivated as future leaders. So they are the ones become karyakar, and they are the ones lead the younger assemblies for the younger kids. So right from the get-go, they get a level of inclusion, the level of freedom, the level of judgment-free zone. So what happens is, what ultimately becomes is that this thing grows overall, and the kids are standing in such a way that they are the future leaders. They have a lot more risk free. They have a lot of leadership skills develop along the course of the day, as well as the spirit of giving back. They learn a lot from the senior karyakars, from our swamis, as well as our guru, and following this wisdom. So the youth is converted into a strong citizen of the future. So that's how the Sanstha is contributing back to the society.
Need, organizing health fairs, food drives, and disaster relief work. BAPS Mandirs offer a welcoming, spiritual space for thousands of families, as well as worship, fellowship, education, community, and social activities for the youth and elderly. In communities enrich the fabric of our nation. I wish our friends at BAPS a joyful anniversary. I'd like to now invite Congressman Swazi to say a few words.
I want to say what an excellent job this young man did reading my remarks in the Congressional record. What's your name?
Fade.
Fade?
Yes.
Let's give Fade a big round of applause. He did a great job. And I want to congratulate everyone here for this wonderful production. I saw the downstairs museum, the history, the presentation here today with these guys with their speeches, and I think they were lip syncing. Were they? But it was really great. It was really very, very well done. Let me just say I'm so happy to be here with you on the happy occasion of the 50th anniversary. I want to thank my good friend Girish Patel for inviting me here. Girish, thank you so much for having me here. I'm very grateful. You're a wonderful ambassador for BAPS. I called him up when I went to New Delhi and said, I want to go see the Akshardham, and he arranged it despite the time difference. He arranged for me to go to Robbinsville. Of course, I've been out in Melville many times. I was here for the 100th anniversary as well. And it's just a great honor to be part of this community. So thank you so much for inviting me.
So initial we were thinking, I mean, if you celebrate the life of Pramukh Swami Maharaj, satsang in North America, and New York Mandir's history is very rich. You cannot define the entire history in 3 hours. You can never do that. If you even do for 3 years, this will never end. So we just decided exactly what do we need to achieve that touches people's hearts. The prasangs, they're very close to people's heart. Pramukh Swami Maharaj.
So this car represents Dr. Mahendra Bhai Patel's car. Swamiji had sat in this car since 1985, 88, 91, 95, 98. So this car has so much emotional value to us as a sanstha because Swamiji had been sitting all this time, and we have preserved this car just in his memory. So it's such a sweet memories. People come here and they are watching, taking pictures with the car since this is 50 years anniversary of this BAPS temple. Thank you and Jai Somnath.
Everybody would agree the kind of discipline that you see and the sincerity with which they execute the task that is given to them, whether it is explaining to visitors about the history of this place or multiple activities. But Vipulji, your name, Daksha, means abundance actually. And you have that sense of abundance of joy in your life. How BAPS has contributed in a sense of clarity which you feel has helped you being successful professionally as well as socially?
So, first of all, Pramukh Swami Maharaj, he's under his leadership. What we call is a servant leadership. He was at the top of the helm, but he was still at the board, doing the smallest job which can be possible. As a leader, usually that's how we grew up as a role model. And his humbleness, his kindness, his love for every individual, those are the different qualities we see and learn from him, being in association with Pramukh Swami Maharaj. I had met him first time during when I was in 8th grade, and he had a heart attack in Baroda in 1983. So that time my father took me over there and graced me with his blessings. And since then, slowly and slowly, I've got involved in this sanstha. And last 30 years, I'm with Grisbai since 95 and doing all this outreach seva. And now I'm more regionally in the different temples in the New York State. I mean, but what has done inner engineering is called, which is soft skills, which has changed. Outside I cannot change, but inside has changed so much. Humbleness, every individual has his own qualities. So Swamiji had a great thing. He used to say, if the guy has 99 bad things, but if he has one good things, just look at the positive in his life, not the 99 rest. So that's how the different qualities of Pramukh Swami Maharaj has. And his biggest motto was, in the joy of others, lives our own, which is the biggest tagline he has given to the Sanstha, to the global, and as a community. He had spoken during the UN Peace Summit. The same lines he had spoken, and Kofi Annan at that time and was so pleased with him. So when he has met so many leaders across the world, and you can see his humbleness and his quality of his life. So Bhagavad Gita में 64 different qualities of saint के लिखे हैं. So we can see all those deep virtues in Pramukh Swami Maharaj, all 64 of them. So that's what we imbibe in day to day. And we learn from the learned Swamis here too, in this Mandir too. They guide us what to do, what not to do. And management wise too, they guide us, all of us. And we work as a team. Mahan Swami's tagline is Sam, Suradha Bhav, and Ekta. United we stand, divided we fall. So that's what it is. His tagline is. Thank you so much.
Absolutely amazing. Vipulji, I have to tell you, you articulated it so well. There was fragrance of the blessing of Pramukh Swamiji Maharaj as well as your practices coming across. And I think whosoever listens to what Vipulji said, taking from his own personal example, it's quite inspiring. And I also want to thank my friend who is helping with the camera.
Namaste, my name is Girish Patel. I'm a BPS volunteer from Long Island, New York. We are here gathered to celebrate the 50th anniversary of BAPS with the humble beginning in August 4th of 1974. And since then, in the last 50 years, if you look at the trajectory of BAPS, it has grown from a small temple like this into an organization with 118 chaplains across North America, including Canada. The reason for this tremendous growth of BAPS in the last 50 years is because of the vision of our spiritual leaders. Initially, it was our Guru Yogiji Maharaj, who was the fourth spiritual leader, excuse me, and he directed the Swamis to come to the United States and explore the possibilities of having a BAPS temple in America. So the Swamis came, and we were fortunate enough to make it sure that they bought some land right here in Flushing with the blessings of His Holiness Yogiji Maharaj. And he also had mentioned that Pramukh Swami Maharaj, the fifth spiritual leader, would come and inaugurate the first temple.
So I'm standing with Shyamji, and Shyamji's smile tells me that he enjoys working with youth. And while you do collective creative thinking to mount this kind of an event where you are celebrating 50th anniversary of this place, you are also depicting the history. And so talk to me about the initial meetings that probably were held, you visualized, or some guidance came from the Pramukh Swamiji Maharaj inspiration. How was it? And once again, I would repeat, you may not see the whole thing, but the cultural program, the exhibition, the spirit, excellent. So, Shyamji, take it away and guide us through the path which led us here.
So let me start from the beginning. Last year, when we had a festival of inspiration at Akshardham Mahotsav, that's where they announced Suvarna Jayanti Mahotsav Nija, the 50th anniversary. From the very day, the seeds of the thinking was in our brain, like what to do, how to do it, where to do it, when to do it, what kind of program we want to plan. So initial thought was just to plan this at the big level at maybe UBS Arena, Madison Square Garden, or maybe at the place where it's been sacred already for us, Radio City Music Hall, where we celebrated 25th anniversary. The plans were done. We went there. We just looked at the venue. We were about to sign the contract. Then all of a sudden, people were thinking, Satpurush, Mohan Swami Maharaj, he's probably not going to be here. What are you going to bring when you're going to do from Radio City Music Hall from up to down when Pramukh Swami Maharaj came up? Then all the Santos, Haribhaktos, and other pioneer Haribhaktos, they decided, why not just do at the place where it all began, right here in Flushing? Let's bring everyone here. Let them come, let them celebrate. Many of them haven't been here in 25, maybe 30 years, and some of them have never been here to Flushing Mandir. We all know how crowded New York City can be, and everyone tried to avoid the crowd. But this festival brought everyone in. They didn't care about the traffic. People, they just paid for the buses to come here. There are many people, they were like crying when they were looking at the program.
So it so happened that in 1974, after purchase of the land, Swamis came, and finally in 1974, he had prepared the temple and was ready for inauguration. So there was the first time His Holiness Pramukh Swami Maharaj, then the Guru of BAPS, came to this country, to New York, Flushing, and did the idol installation ceremony right here in this property. And after that, he traveled length and breadth of the United States because there were Hindus all across, and he wanted to meet them. He wanted to bring them the messages of Indian heritage. He wanted to make sure they understand how important it is not only for themselves, but for their children as well, to continue our traditions and the values in this country, so they become not only good Hindus, but also understand the values that are promoted by Hinduism and be faithful to this country, and also make sure it is done properly.
Traveled with Pramukh Swami Maharaj. Pramukh Swami Maharaj traveled here 14 times, but he been to this mandir 13 times. The last year he couldn't come because of his age and the limitations. He was at the Robbinsville Akshardham that time. He didn't go anywhere else. He came here, he traveled everywhere, but we were focusing on New York. The New York memories, the people that cherish New York memories. And that's what we wanted to portray. The New York memories that people can live with it for the next century, maybe.
I'm not going to give a long speech other than to say, when I meet the people from BAPS, I really feel that the people here experience the same thing that my family went through. My father was born in Italy and came to the United States as a young boy and lived a great American success story. And I see in you and your families the way you focus on your faith, you focus on educating your children, you bring your children in. So I forget what the expression is for the youth conferences that Pramukh Swami used to do. What is it? Car? I'm not going to remember that. But it was just so beautiful the way you bring children in and get them involved, and this is such a part of their lives. And
I am thrilled to be talking to Shyamji, Apurvaji and Dr. Vipul. And I'm also reminded, I had the good fortune of being in the presence of Pramukh Swamiji Maharaj right here in this hall. I also have cherished memory in the form of that picture where I'm with Pramukh Swami Maharaj. It kind of makes you like getting to the goosebumps sort of a feel. And what a remarkable life, what a remarkable legacy that Pramukh Swamiji Maharaj has left, starting from one temple to 118 temple, but not just temples, not just the temple structures, but the spirit, the team spirit, the dedication and humility and love which comes to us, which is the core of Hindu values when we talk about Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, and BAPS epitomizes all that in such a beautiful manner.
And that's why we see so many members of the BAPS community being so successful here in their adopted country. You never forget your native country, you never forget your heritage, you never forget your traditions, you never forget your religion, but you embrace the United States of America and the wonderful things that we have to enjoy here. And you make our country better. You are the American story. And we need to remember that. We cannot forget that. America is not about a language or a race or an identity. It's about an idea that all men and women are created equal and are imbued with a dignity as human beings. The same as when you recognize people and you recognize their worth. That's the basic idea of America. We forget that sometimes with all the yelling and screaming and shouting from the extremists. And we need to get back to the basics and just recognizing the worth of each person and working together to try and make people's lives better.
After 50 years, we are here today, celebrating the entire history in the last 50 years, what happened. There's a beautiful exhibition downstairs which gives an entire history, right from 1974 until today, of all the growth and level of development that has happened, and how the Hindus and the larger community has been interested in BAPS, its values, its system, its spiritual growth, and also how it has benefited our society at large. And we are very happy that now our current leader, His Holiness Mahan Swami Maharaj, is continuing the tradition of same thing what our previous gurus has done. And it is, the BAPS is I'm very fortunate to say that it is growing in leaps and bounds right across America.
Now the journey of BIPS here in Queens is a remarkable one. And there's an old saying, man plans and God laughs. And you think of the remarkable things that have happened along the way, that a little boy forgets what he was supposed to order at the supermarket, but it ends up that the owner calls the people over at the house and say the land is for sale. That's not just happening because of luck or fortune. So I know there are many wonderful things ahead for this community. I don't know what's going to happen. You don't know what's going to happen, but just stick with your values. Continue working hard. Never forget what this is about. And I promise you that things will continue to get better and better and better. So let me just close by saying, you heard the remarks that how do you say anything? Fade read before, which I entered into the Congressional record. And I have this Congressional citation that has been prepared as well on the occasion of the 50th anniversary. But the most important thing I bring with me here today, which I think is a symbol of how important this community is to our larger community, is I arranged to have a flag flown over the United States Capitol in honor of the 50th anniversary. So I hope that you'll remember this as a symbol of my respect for you, a symbol of your importance to this community, and a symbol of your importance to the United States of America. Thank you very much. Dhanyavad.
Once again, thanking each and every one of you with lots and lots of good wishes. And I also take this opportunity of mentioning that by the inspiration of Pramukh Swamiji Maharaj, I started one channel primarily to focus on culture and religious aspect and spiritual aspect. So that is given by the name of Lord Ganapati, Haramba Studio. So we will have a special feature on this Haramba Studio, and I seek the grace and blessing of Pramukh Swamiji Maharaj for everything that spreads goodness in the world. May that be strengthened. And once again, with lots and lots of good wishes, thanking each and every one of you. Namaste.
Thank you.